Hey guys, today we're drawing the awesome life of Fresh. Comment below if you're an OG fan of Mr. Fresh and know that his initial name was Mr. Fresh Asian. Mr. Fresh is a massive gamer with 5 million subscribers on YouTube and 2.3 million on Twitch. Not only that, he's one of the best pro gamers. Many people don't know this, but Fresh has been through a lot, all of his childhood. It wasn't that easy to reach where he is now. It might seem easy and lucky, but behind the scenes, he's been grinding for hours, even without food, without AC for years, with no recognition. He'd started his gaming when he was only 11 years old. In this episode, we're covering his entire story, all his struggles and all his success. If you want to know about Fresh, watch till the end. And let's go right into the video. The real name of Fresh is Harley Campbell. He was born on the 4th of March 2002, which makes him 18 years old now. Mr. Fresh was born and brought up in Australia. Many people know about his success and glory, but most of us don't know about the struggles he'd been through. Mr. Fresh had a pretty difficult childhood. His parents got divorced when he was 8 months old. That was really young for him to even understand what was going on. He grew up spending time equally with both parents, alternatively, as per the divorce deal. So 2 weeks he'd be with his mom, the next 2 weeks with his dad. Mr. Fresh had explained about this in a recent interview. He told his mom was not financially doing well, so she lived in Mount Druitt, which is a suburb area in Sydney. It's a low-profile socioeconomic area in Australia. So Fresh remembers a home with cockroaches and poverty. At the same time, his dad was rich and had a mansion. It was a 28-acre property, and Fresh had a different lifestyle when he was there. So we can say that he experienced two extremes of life as a kid. Some years after the divorce, his mom and dad went into their second marriages. So Mr. Fresh has half-siblings. From both sides, there are 6 or 7 half-brothers and half-sisters. Mr. Fresh has never been very close to any of them. In fact, he didn't like to be at his dad's place much, because his stepmom and her sons were not really good with him. His dad owned a lighting company, so he used to always be busy with those works. And he'll come back home only late at night. And he really doesn't know about what's happening with Mr. Fresh at home. So Fresh just went there because he had to. Even though he had the luxuries at his dad's place, he never felt as part of the family, never felt it was his home. He felt that only at his mom's. When he was 5 years old is when Mr. Fresh first started gaming. One of his first stepbrothers at his dad's and one at his mom's started video gaming at that time. That's how Fresh was introduced into this. He was in kindergarten then, and he started playing with his stepbrothers. Accidentally, both of his brothers played Team Fortress 2 at the same time. So Fresh had a lot of chances to play this game and became a pro in that. He had a laptop for playing the game at his mom's place and always played as a single player. At his dad's place, his stepbrother would allow him to play sometimes. In fact, he didn't know about a multiplayer thing. Mr. Fresh played Team Fortress 2 for years. This actually helped him become good at gaming. While he was getting better at gaming, a different story was going on with his schooling. In his school, Fresh was a below-average student. He got straight D's in all his subjects. Mr. Fresh was studying in a good private school. From the time he started his gaming thing, Fresh had started skipping his classes. He never understood what he was doing at school, but he had some other advantages in going to school. Being a high-profile school, there were only rich kids there. Most of them were not allowed to buy online or buy fancy stuffs. So Mr. Fresh would do that for them, with an extra commission amount. This way, he made some pocket money. Even on days he never attended school, Fresh will go to sell things. Interestingly enough, at that time, our favorite player, Muselk, had opened a web server for playing Team Fortress 2 for his community to come together and play. And Mr. Fresh Asian was a frequent visitor in Muselk's server. This is when he was around 11 or 12 years old. When Fresh was around 13 or 14, he went with his dad and his family for a trip. And he and his stepbrother got into a fight. His brother was very aggressive. When he came back, Fresh's mom found out he had bruises all over his body. This caused a legal situation, and they went to the court and hearings. Finally, his dad was removed from being his custodian, and Fresh moved in completely with his mom. These incidents were not easy or normal for a child of that age. Fresh is told that he purposely forgets many of these memories because they weren't so pleasant. So he doesn't talk much about his childhood or past anywhere. So when he moved away from his dad, he got a little gift from him, his stepbrother's old laptop. That was the first time Fresh started playing all kinds of games, like CSGO. Then he came to know about this local gaming lands nearby. It was like 15 minutes from his home. So he'd go there with his old laptop and took part in their competitions. Mr. Fresh won many games with his trash laptop. In fact, many of his gaming accessories he wanted was got by winning those small amounts of money. The more he was into gaming, slowly he completely stopped going to school. As we've already mentioned, he was skipping school almost from the age of 5. He was never interested in studies. He never thought he was going to get anything out of it. He considers himself lucky to be at this position and able to do well without schooling, and recommends no one to leave schooling. So Fresh was getting better as a gamer, and he was discovering opportunities in the gaming field. As he met gamer friends, Fresh came to know about Twitch and online streaming. He wanted to start one for himself, but being at Mount Druitt, he didn't have a proper internet connection. By this time, Mr. Fresh knew about other gamers, gaming community, opportunities, Twitch, YouTube. He was following everything, and he wanted to make his name and space in the gaming community, and he knew he could make it. So he created a Twitch account for himself in 2012 when he was like 10 years old, but never really could start. Mr. Fresh went on playing games in his room, improving his skills. In July 2017, Fortnite was released. Fortnite was a trendsetter in the gaming community. Fresh started playing Fortnite extensively. He was so confident and was having higher highs in the game. Somehow he thought that is the time to jump in. Mr. Fresh assembled some gadgets, and with a low-quality internet of 540p, he started streaming in Twitch with Fortnite gaming. He's 15 years old. With almost 10 years of gaming experience, his streaming stood out from any other gamer. He started getting pretty good number of views. By the starting of 2018, Mr. Fresh had 50,000 followers in Twitch. It was at that time the prominent gamers in the gaming community like Muselk, Lachlan, and many others started doing challenge games in Fortnite. It was the multiplayer games where they played with random gamers, and Mr. Fresh started attending those. And least to be said, he was noticed in no time. He played with Muselk almost every day. Mr. Fresh became a constant gaming partner for Muselk and Lachlan. Everyone wanted their content to be interesting and challenging. The talent Mr. Fresh put forward was difficult to be ignored. They wanted him in their channels and gameplays. They even played together without recording just to learn from each other. As Mr. Fresh came in more and more of their videos, a lot of people started recognizing him and started to watch his Twitch stream, even though it was still at 540p. The kind of audience he was able to hold at that quality was amazing. He'd stream without having food, without AC, with low-quality gadgets all day, every day. His donations increased, but Fresh was not rightly monetizing his talent yet. So after giving much thought into it, he decided to make his YouTube channel active in May 2018. He put up one intro video and then was not sure how to continue. For him, investing time in editing and uploading videos was not negotiable because he wanted to play as much as he could. In between those confusions, in August 2018, Mr. Fresh was picked by the Renegades Gaming Company, which was part of esports. Basically, they asked him to play under their name. He'll be paid for games, there was no legal contract signed with them. The association with esports gave him bigger platforms to perform and also a better reach. His name was noticed by a hell of a lot of people. Mr. Fresh started giving coaching to upcoming gamers, which also earned some money. All this time, he was in contact with Muselk and many other gamers. They were all into this big planning to start ClickHouse. By September 2018, the ClickHouse was started, but Mr. Fresh didn't join at that time. In fact, nobody had ever met Mr. Fresh in person. In December 2018, there was a boat party conducted for the ClickHouse members, and Mr. Fresh was invited to attend that. That's when everyone met him. By January 2019, Mr. Fresh moved into the ClickHouse. For the first time, he streamed with full quality and great gadgets, from a place where he didn't have regular food or AC in a scorching summer. Fresh got this comfortable place to game as much as he wants. He loved it. He did like 250 hours of streaming that month. With all the members pepping up and making videos, learning how to do YouTube, Fresh also got into that. He learned editing, uploading videos, and understood the YouTube analytics and stuff. That's when he started getting like a solid payment as a gamer. If we look at his YouTube channel, we can know the extensive growth he got in terms of views and subscribers. Each of his videos got like a minimum of 1 million views. By the end of 2019, ClickHouse members decided to move apart. They figured out that it's better to live apart and come together only to make ClickHouse videos. That way they have more fresh ideas. So Fresh also moved out. He bought his own apartment and moved out. Wow. As of now, he's very much active in his Twitch streaming and YouTube channel. Looking at his life story, guys, it's inspiring. Don't you want to have the kind of passion towards something in your life? Mr. Fresh has been playing video games from the age of 5. And in his own words, there was not even a single day he missed playing. That's incredible. This only shows how much he loves what he does. Even at difficult times, good times, fun times, at any point in his life, he'd been with his passion no matter what. He's gone through so many physical and mental struggles in his life. Mr. Fresh has learned to live with the scars. Now he's beaming with confidence. He knows that he has it made, whatever life threw at him. Mr. Fresh took it all and used it as his stepping stones. To say the least, we're proud that we could bring his story to you guys.